So good day everyone, I am Jeneline Antipolo and I am assigned to discuss and report the topic traditional selection process. So, selection is the process of making a hire or no hire decision regarding each applicant for the job. So selection means deciding if an applicant will be hired or not. Magdesisyon ang company kung dawaton ba niya o dili ang applicant. And this involves choosing the qualified individual who is available to fill the position in the organization. So as you can see this process, it starts in initial screening and down to employment test, background examination, comprehensive interview, and flow to permanent job offer. But if it failed to minimum qualification and it down to reject applicant. So, let's dig deeper about what are the requirements to have a permanent job offer para dili ma-reject ang applicant. So, the selection process includes testing an applicants in different methods to assess their skills, abilities, and attitude, and if they are our organization. So, HR personnel normally employs the 4 basic selection criteria in assessing applicants. So, the company chooses the person who is qualified and ready to work. So, and companies use different ways to check the applicant's skills and behavior. So, gisukod sa company ang skills ug batasan sa applicant pinaagi sa exam o interview. And first is formal education. Formal education, this refers to the applicant's educational background. So, tan-awon kung nakahuman ba og college o vocational course. Tan-awon kung unsa ba imong ng highest attainment nga education. And next, second, experience and past performance. So, this refers to previous job and how will the applicant perform. For example, kung naka-work na siya sa una, ug maayo ba iyang performance? Like, kanang good ba iyang behavior, maayo ba siya mo trabaho, ana. And third, physical attributes. This refers to physical health and ability to perform the job. Kung, for example, kung kusgan ba siya para sa trabaho, for example, construction, test dira if kung kusgan ba siya or kung compatible ba siya ana nga kind sa trabaho. And lastly, personality and attitude. This refers to behavior, attitude, and character. Kung unsa ba siya, responsible ba siya sa iyang trabaho, and if kuan ba siya, if iyang attitude kay kanang good. So next is testing. So there are 3 common selection methods that can be used by the HR personnel. So first is testing. So testing measures the knowledge, skills, ability, characteristics, and personality of an applicant. So, sa testing, it checks what the applicants knows and how capable they are. O hatagan nila o exam para mahibalaan kung unsay kahibalo sa applicant. So, common testing types include the following. First, cognitive ability test. So, cognitive ability test, it measures thinking, reasoning, and problem-solving skills. For example, pangutanon ang applicant og about sa math problem and logic test. So, next is personality test. It measures behavior and character. It tests kung friendly bang applicant or dili ba siya dali masuko sa mga kanang kuan, dili ba siya masuko sa mga applicants pod. And next, physical ability test. It checks physical strength and stamina. For example, kanang pasudlon ka og physical test sa kuan sa masal or like sa pag-alsa og bugat, kung makaya ba nimo na nga makaya ba na sa imong lawas nga mag-alsa og bugat, and kung compatible ba siya sa imong sudan nga trabaho nga mag-alsa og bugat, like ana, i-test nila sa company ang imong physical ability. Next, integrity test. It measures honesty and trustworthiness. So, pangutanon ka diri kung unsa ang imong buhaton. For example, kung unsa imong buhaton kung makakita ka og kwarta or gamit nga dili imuha. So, mag-measure gyud diri ang imuhang honesty and trustworthiness. And next is drug test. So, drug test check if the applicant uses illegal drugs. So, magpa-medical test para masiguro nga wala illegal drugs ang aplikante or wala siya nagamit og mga illegal drugs. Next is work sample test. It is the applicant performs an actual job task. So, kung for example, kung mag-apply ka og as a cookery, palutuon sab ka og kanang sudan or like something nga magluto-luto kay since cookery man ang imuhang gisudlan nga trabaho. So, next, information gathering. So, information gathering, the company checks the resume and contacts previous employers. So, diri mahitabo ang kanang tawagan ang previous boss nimo or previous company nga imong gitrabahoan sa una kung nindot ba ang imong performance didto. And next is interview. So an interview is a selection process wherein applicants respond to questions posed by a manager or someone from the organization. So interview, it is where the employer asks questions to know the applicant better. So, diri na pangutanon ng applicant kung anong gusto siya sa trabaho. Like, what common question an interview have is like question na, why did you choose this job? Ana. So, there are different ways of conducting an interview. So, first is a structured interview. So, structured interview, it is the interviewer asks prepared and same questions to all applicants. So, parehas nga pangutana sa tanang aplikante. Same questions to all applicants and nagkuan siya og kanang structured. Like, naka-prepared na bitaw siya daan. And there are two types, where is situational and behavioral interview. So situational interview, this is where ask what the applicant would do in a situation. For example, unsay mong buhaton kung masuko ang customer, like anang ang mga question. And behavioral interview. Behavioral interview ask about past experience. So, for example, isulti nimo ang past nga nakasolve ka og problem sa company or unsa ba to imong mga past nga mga achievements sa previous ni mga company nga imong gi-applyan. And next one is unstructured interview. This is where the interviewer asks random or casual question. So, casual lang ni nga istorya and dili siya fix nga pangutana. Unlike sa structured interview nga prepared siya and same question to all kanang applicants. Pero diri sa unstructured interview, diri ang casual nga istorya lang and possible pod nga lahi-lahi og i-question ang interviewer sa mga applicant. Next, pre-employment process and background checks. So, successful candidates are being offered the job. So, applicants who pass are offered the position. Ang nakapasar sa mga requirements, hatagan dayon og kanang trabaho. Upon completion of the pre-employment requirements, then that is the only time that they will receive the job contract. So, upon the completion of mga katong pre-employment requirements, kanina nga akong ginaingon, so that's the only time nga maka-receive na og job contract. Then mag-sign na dayon na og job contract. So the pre-employment process is the last phase of screen applicant. Normally, the pre-employment requirements in our country could require applicants to submit the following. So, Sa paghuman na og pre-employment process, nadayoy mga requirements nga, for example, sa atong country, ang ilahang gipang require sa applicants kay mag-submit sa mga following. For example, like this. First, government issued identification. And next, government issued clearance. For example, NBI clearance, barangay clearance, police clearance, so any kind of clearance, di ba? Kanang sa kanang mag-apply man siya tag trabaho kay dili man siya na mawala ng mga clearance kung kasi it reflects your behavior in your community or within your country. Third, copies of educational certificate, transcript of records, and diploma. So, this is where mahibawan kung unsa nga education ang imuhang na kanang na eskwelahan. And fourth, medical examination results. It describes it refers to your kanang physical, like kung nagasakit ba ka, na ba kay sakit, ana. And ikalima, certificate of employment from previous employers. So if you have a kanang past experience or past experience sa imong kanang or nakagi na kanang laing trabaho or nakaagi na ka og previous trabaho sa una, kinahanglan pud nga manang naa kay certificate of employment. And 6, tax and identification number or TIN number. And 7, SSS or GSIS number. So this is where kanang mga kanang SSS or Social Security System or kanang mga kwan like insurance nimo or kanang imong ginahulog-hulugan. And 8, PhilHealth ID. So in case of kanang PhilHealth is kind of insurance sub, like kanang for example magkasakit ka or ma-hospital ka, PhilHealth were covered your covered your expenses. And it is also need for kanang mag-apply ka og trabaho. And 9, HDMF or Pag-ibig ID number. And 10, training certificates or kanang for example nakagi kag training sa previous, kinahanglan sabto nimo nga kanang dalon or kinahanglan sa nimo nga ipass through sa imuhang applyan nga trabaho. And 11 is other relevant documents. So uban pang mga document nga kinahanglan sa company. So remember that the pre-employment phase only gives a qualified applicant conditional job offers. So if the applicant fails to comply with the requirements, the next qualified applicants may take his or her place. Apart from the pre-employment requirements, a background reference check is also being done synchronously to check the credibility and accuracy of the information of the applicant. So, if the applicant fails to comply with the requirements, the next qualified applicant may take his or her place. So, if dili nimo mahatag tanan nga requirements nga gihatag sa pre-employment, so naay possibility nga ma-reject ang applicant and mapasa na to nga position sa next applicant na sad. And apan po datong mga gipang hatag nimo nga mga details and information sa imuhang gi-offeran nga company or sa imong gisudlan nga company, i-check po to sa company synchronously kung credibility ba to, kung tinuod ba to, or sakto ba to imong gipanghatag nga information. I-check po na sa company. And that's all. Thank you.